Good morning. Welcome to Arizona. I'm Alene. I'm a jewelry designer, and if you've ever wondered if you really have silver, or you hear all the different kinds of silver there are, if you know anything about it, I'm going to explain a little bit about what the differences are so that you can figure it out with the stuff you already own or anything that you're going to purchase. Okay, first of all, there's of course what they call fine silver, which is 99.9% silver, so it's pretty much all silver. The difference with fine silver, wonderful to work with, however, it's very soft. Silver is a very soft metal. So what happens is, unless you're texturing it and then making it, say, into earrings, something that you want to be very lightweight, it's not very practical to use unless you get a very thick version of it. But you can see even this is a piece of fine silver right here, and of course it's very thick. Now if this was sterling, I couldn't touch it, but I can even bend this. That gives you an idea of how soft that metal is. So what they've done is they've added a little bit of copper to it, 7.5%, primarily copper, and the other 92.5% is silver. What this does is it hardens it just enough that you can work with it. So I'm going to show you just a little difference here. This is some sheet silver that I purchased. This is a 24 gauge, which is a fairly thin version. Now you can see this one in sterling, which has that little bit of copper in it. I can bend it just a touch, but here it is at 99.9%, and I can really bend this one. So that's the difference in working with it. And when you're purchasing it, you just want to make sure that whatever you purchase has either the 0.925 or the 0.999 trademarks stamped right into it, because then you know it's really silver. Now, as far as other kinds of silver that are called silver, there's silver plate, and that's kind of basically what it sounds like. It's silver that they have, it's a base metal that they've plated with just a very thin coat of silver. So it doesn't have much silver in it. The metal underneath, who knows? If it's nickel, a lot of people are allergic to nickel. You've got to be careful of that. So I do not recommend anything with silver plate. Plus that will wear off. And then you've got this base metal, which probably is ugly. So don't do that. The other one is called silver filled. Now silver filled, it's a misnomer. It sounds like you're filling it, but you're not really. You're actually still coating it, but it's more of a bonding that's going over the base metal, so it's a little more permanent, but still it's only 10% silver. So I really just don't recommend that. I think if you're going to purchase, you want the precious metal, you want to work with the silver. Now I'm going to move this down and hopefully be able to show you what that trademark stamp looks like on the 925, but it's very tiny, so I don't know if this is going to work very well. Okay, let's see, how's that? Okay, this is a piece I've been working on. It's going to be amethyst geode pendant, and the back of it, see if you can get close enough. I don't know with the reflection if you're going to see it, but there is a 0.925 stamped into there, as well as my trademark, which is just my name, Alene. This is another piece I'm working on right here, which is going to be malachite. I think a cuff on this one. And again, I've already got the stamp in there in the back. I hope with the reflection that you can actually still see this. But if not, you'll have to take my word for it. It's stamped into there. It's also stamped into this ring and in the back. Yeah, hopefully you can see that. Again, just to give you an idea of what you should look for if you're purchasing something. Now, if you're actually looking at the jewelry you have right now and saying, wonder if this is silver, or wonder what it is, there are a couple little things you can do to test to make sure it is real silver. The first thing is that silver is a non-ferrous metal. That means it's not magnetic. So if you take a nice magnet, even I don't know if you could use like one of your refrigerator magnets. You might need something a little bit stronger than that. But take a magnet, put it next to your piece of silver. If it sticks, it's not silver. If it doesn't stick, it's silver. So that's one way, just a very quick way to know. I think that one's kind of cool. Another one I just heard about, and this is so fun because I haven't tried this yet, but is to pick up this piece and smell it. If it smells like anything, then it's not silver, because silver has no smell to it. And even if it's the sterling silver, which is 0.925, that still isn't enough copper to give it a smell. So this doesn't smell like anything, which is good because I already know it's silver. So that's another way you can test it. And then the third way, which I think this one's kind of cool, is because silver is a conductor, in fact, the strongest conductor that we have, you can actually, this is the ice cube one. You can take your piece of silver and put it down. Let's say we put this down here. And then let's say in my other hand, I just put an ice cube. I put an ice cube here, and I put an ice cube on top of this piece at the same time, and watch them. This one will melt faster. And it's because it's a conductor. So again, I don't know if you want to play around with that. I think the magnet and the smell test are probably just easier. So those are a couple cool things to know about how you can figure out what kind of silver you have. And the next thing we're going to talk about in the next video is going to be like how to care for your silver, and also we're going to talk a little bit about some of the silver legends. So if you could like this video below, I would so appreciate it. I'd love to have you join me up here. You can click here and join my page, and then you'll get future videos announced to you anyway, so you'll know that they're coming. And then over here is going to be information on some of the other videos that I've had done. So please click. Appreciate it. Bye.